So for this loaf, I'm just going to brush off a little bit of that rice flour, and then I'm going to just show you a cheats way of getting a pattern onto your dough. Now this is a stencil that I picked up from the $2 shop. It's just cardboard, so it's not going to last forever, but it's got some really cool patterns on it, and you can actually use that as a guide to putting a pattern on your dough. Now we're not looking to trace the whole outside lines of this pattern. We just want to use one side of the pattern just to get the pattern onto the dough and just follow the lines of that pretty leaf pattern. So before we start, we just want to do a very light dusting of flour onto our dough because it helps to give us a nice clean cut when we do it. So once we've done that, just rubbing it over, we pop our stencil onto the loaf and just decide on which way you want it to run. And then I'm just going to trace around the outside of this pattern. So just gently holding it on there. Like I said, we're just going to trace along one side of the pattern, and it really is just scarring. We're not trying to dig deeply in there. So I'm not even trying to do the whole leaf. I'm just using one line of this stencil to get the pattern onto my dough. And it's only going in around about probably 1 millimeter, so it's not very deep at all. It's just for decoration, this one. But it's going to give some really cool effects on our dough. So just keep following that line, and you'll see once I take the stencil off how good this actually looks. So when we take that off, you can see I've transferred that beautiful pattern onto our dough. So that's our scarring done, that's our decorative scarring done. So now we need to do a nice slice down the side of our dough to create an ear, but also to give somewhere for the gases inside the loaf to escape. So I'm going to angle my lamb on a side like on an angle, and then I'm going to do a cut that goes right from here right to the other side. And when I do it, I'm going to really commit to that cut so that it's going to be nice and as deep as it needs to be. And when we look at this blade, that's around about how deep the cut needs to be. And you'll get a much better result if you have it on an angle so that this isn't dragging through the dough, and also you make sure it's cut all the way in and you follow in one straight line. You don't jag it as you go. Okay, so we'll do our cut now. So just make sure you've got the blade in there first before you start, and then just really commit to getting that cut all the way along to the edge. So you can see here it started to open up, and if it didn't go quite deep enough all the way, you can come back and just cut into that dough again.